I want you to close your eyes for just a second before we begin. Take one slow breath in through your nose, and let it out through your mouth. Not because you have to. Just because you can. Just because this moment, right now, belongs to you. Okay. I'm glad you're here. I know where you are right now. Not just physically, I mean where you are on the inside. There's a heaviness that's been sitting with you for a while. Maybe it started with a loss, or a relationship that ended, or a version of your life that quietly slipped away. Maybe it's anxiety that lives in your chest and wakes you up at 3 in the morning with a list of everything that could go wrong. Maybe you've been doing all the right things and still feel like something is missing. Like you're going through the motions but the color has drained out of a little bit of everything. And someone, maybe a friend, maybe a video, maybe something you read at midnight, told you to try journaling. To try being grateful. And part of you thought, how is writing in a notebook going to fix any of this? Stay with me. Walk through this with me today. Because I'm not going to tell you that gratitude is a magic wand or that positive thinking will make the hard things disappear. What I am going to tell you is this: there is a specific way to use a gratitude journal, combined with something called scripting, that doesn't just make you feel a little better in the moment, it actually begins to rewire the story you've been telling yourself. And over 21 days, that shift is real. People feel it. I've seen it. And I believe you will too. So let's start at the beginning. Here's what most people get wrong about gratitude journaling. They sit down, they write 3 things they're grateful for: to coffee, my dog, the weather, and then they close the book and nothing changes. And they wonder why. It's because gratitude journaling, the kind that actually transforms something inside you, isn't a checklist. It's a conversation. It's a practice of attention. It's you deliberately turning your gaze toward what is already good, even when so much still hurts. And when you combine that with a scripting manifestation technique, which I'll explain in just a moment, something beautiful starts to happen. You stop being only the person who is surviving your life, and you begin to gently become the person who is also building it. Let me explain scripting first, because I want you to understand it before we go further. Scripting is the practice of writing in your journal as though the life you want is already happening. Not in a fake way. Not in a way that asks you to pretend the pain isn't real. But in a way that opens a door in your mind, a door that says, this is also possible. You write in present tense. You write with feeling. You describe how a day in your desired life feels, not just what it looks like. For example, instead of writing I want to feel peace, you write I woke up this morning and the first thing I noticed was how quiet my mind felt. I made tea and I sat by the window and I wasn't rushing. I felt held by the morning. Do you feel the difference? One is a wish. The other is an experience. And your nervous system, your emotional body, doesn't entirely know the difference between a vivid imagined experience and a real one. That's not mystical, that's how human beings are wired. It's why a nightmare can leave you shaking even when you're safe in your bed. Stories land in the body. So when you combine scripting with genuine gratitude journaling, you create something powerful. You anchor yourself in what is already real and good, and then you extend a gentle hand toward what you are calling forward. That's the practice. That's the 21-day gratitude journal transformation I want to walk you through. Take a breath with me right here. In through the nose. And out slowly. Good. Here is how the ritual works, and I want you to write this down or screenshot it or just carry it with you. Every day for 21 days, you are going to sit down with your journal. Morning is best, but any consistent time works, and you're going to do 3 things. First, you write 5 genuine things you're grateful for. But here's the key: don't write just the thing. Write why. Write how it made you feel. Instead of "I'm grateful for my sister," write "I'm grateful for my sister because she texted me this morning just to say she was thinking of me, and for a moment I didn't feel invisible." That specificity is where the real work happens. That's what makes this high vibration journaling instead of just a habit. You're not listing. You're feeling. You're remembering that goodness exists and has already touched your life. Second, you write one scripting entry. 2 to 3 paragraphs, present tense, describing a moment or a morning or a conversation in the life you are moving toward. Not a fantasy so far from you that it feels like fiction. Something just a little ahead of where you are. A version of you that is a little more rested, a little more at ease, a little more loved. Write it like a letter from that version of you to yourself right now. Let yourself feel it as you write it. Third, you close with one sentence of release. Just one. Something you are letting go of today. It can be something small. I am releasing the guilt I felt about that conversation. I am releasing the need to know how this turns out. I am releasing the idea that I am behind. One sentence. That's it. That's the full ritual. 3 parts. Gratitude with feeling. Scripting with presence. Release with gentleness. And you do it every day for 21 days. Now, why 21 days? Because change doesn't happen in a moment of inspiration. It happens in the quiet repetition of small choices. In showing up on the days when you don't feel like it. In picking up the pen when you're tired and writing just one true thing. 21 days isn't a deadline. It's an invitation. It's you saying to yourself, I am worth this much of my own attention. And here's what I want you to know about the days when it's hard. Because they will come. There will be a morning in week 2 when you sit down with your journal and you feel nothing. Or worse, you feel everything and none of it is good. And on that day, your gratitude entry might be, I am grateful that I got out of bed. I am grateful that the sun came through the window. I am grateful that somewhere in me, something still wants to try. That counts. That is not a failure of the practice. That is the practice working exactly as it should. Because on those days, you are training the deepest part of yourself to keep looking. To keep reaching toward the light, even with one hand, even when the other hand is still holding grief or fear or exhaustion. Both things can be true. You can be hurting and healing at the same time. Breathe with me again. Just for a second. In through the nose, slow and full. Hold it gently. And let it go. I want to talk to you now about what changes over 21 days. Because it's not always dramatic. It's not always a lightning bolt moment where everything suddenly makes sense. But there are shifts. Small ones that add up. You start to notice good things before the day is over, because you know you'll be writing about them tonight. Your brain starts scanning for what's working, not just what isn't. You start to feel less like a passenger in your own life and more like someone who has a say. The scripting entries start to feel less like fantasy and more like memory, a memory of something that hasn't happened yet, but that feels oddly familiar. Women who have done this 21-day manifestation challenge describe it as feeling like they finally found a door they didn't know existed, and they walk through it. And the release practice, that one sentence every day of letting something go, it starts to clear space. Grief doesn't disappear. Anxiety doesn't vanish overnight. But the grip loosens. Just a little. And a little is enough to breathe. Now I want to come to the part of this that I think is the most important. The part 1 don't want you to skip past. I need you to let go of something right now. Not tomorrow. Not when things are easier. Right now, in this moment, with me. I want you to let go of the belief that you have to be okay before you deserve to feel hope. Read that again. Let it land. Somewhere along the way, you learned, maybe from years of just surviving, that hope was something you earned. That you had to get through the pain first, fix yourself first, figure it all out first, and then, only then, you were allowed to want something beautiful for your life. That's not true. That has never been true. You do not have to earn the right to want something good. You do not have to finish grieving before you're allowed to dream. You do not have to be healed before you're allowed to heal. You can hold the sadness and the hope in the same hands. You are big enough for both. So right now, I want you to take one breath, and with the exhale, I want you to let go of that old rule. The one that said you had to wait. Let it fall. It is too heavy and you have been carrying it for too long. You don't need it anymore. You are allowed to begin today. Exactly as you are. With the tired eyes and the uncertain heart and the pen you almost didn't pick up. This is where transformation actually starts, not when everything is perfect, but when you decide, even quietly, even just for today, that you are worth showing up for. You are worth showing up for. Let that be the first thing you write in your gratitude journal today. I am grateful that I showed up for myself today. Because you did. You're here. That matters more than you know. Before I let you go, I have a question I'd love for you to share in the comments. What is one thing, even something tiny, that you are genuinely grateful for right now in this moment? It doesn't have to be beautiful or profound. It can be a song, a person, a cup of something warm, a single hour of sleep, the fact that you found this video. Drop it below. I read every comment personally, and I want to know. Your answer might also be the exact thing someone else needs to read today. You belong in this community. Stay with us here, you are not alone in any of this, and the more we show up for each other in the comments and in this space, the less alone we all feel. Please share this video with one person in your life who could use a little gentleness right now. You don't have to explain it. Just send it. Sometimes the kindest thing we can do for someone is hand them something that says, I see you. And if you want to go deeper, come visit us at dealerofhappiness.org. We have a free community waiting for you there, along with a free healing journal you can download and start using today, including a template for this exact 21-day ritual. If these videos bring you something real, something you carry with you, I would love it if you subscribed and stayed. There is so much more here for you. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself today. You deserve that.